Hello, good morning, afternoon, or evening, depending on when you are playing this pre-recorded session. This session is something that was done previously earlier this month, and if you have any questions at all about the class, then you can always email me at yogandiuk.com.
Wonderful. And let's breathe. Let's start our deep stretch session by making sure that we are nice and settled. Give ourselves a little bit of space to just settle and breathe. So bring yourself into whatever position you feel comfortable on your mat, making sure that you're still lengthening out your spine by reaching the crown of your head up towards the ceiling and letting your shoulders relax. Let's take a nice long breath in through the nose and then just let it out. Nice long breath in and let it out. Nice long breath in. Let it out. And now just start to take your mind just a little bit more inwardly. So try your best to ignore the sounds around you. Almost envelop yourself within your own mind. Focus a little bit more on your breathing. Noticing just that steady inhale, exhale. Closing your eyes or just looking down towards the floor, whatever is more comfortable for you. Good, now let's start to take in a little bit of a deeper breath in through our nose. And as you reach the top of that inhale, I want you to reach your arms up towards the ceiling. Good, spread your fingers nice and wide. Good, we're now going to twist around to the left-hand side. So we're going to bring our right hand on top of our left knee and the other hand is going to go behind us. So just taking that twist, see if you can shift your left shoulder back a little bit further. Good, now another long inhale to draw yourself back up to center. And then let's take the twist onto the other side. Good, inhale, let's come back to center. And then exhale, fold forwards. Come nice and high onto your fingertips. And then slowly draw yourself back to the seated position. Good, let's lift the hands again. And then just allow them to come down by your side. Turn your head to the left. And then round to the right. And then back to center. Shrug your shoulders up to your ears. And then take them back and down. Just make yourself nice and still. Take a moment just to set a nice rate of breath for yourself. And then try and keep that breath as you move yourself onto all fours, onto your mat. Taking a moment to make sure that your fingers are nicely spread, your knees are sitting underneath your hips, and your toes are tucked. Good, once you feel nice and firm on the mat, we're going to move through some cat-cow movements. Okay, so as you inhale, our stomach is going to press down towards the floor, looking forwards, bum sticks back. As you exhale, we're going to lift from the center of our back. Our tailbone is going to tuck under, and we're going to look between our knees. So see if that rate of breath that you had set yourself at the beginning can be brought in here, and you're moving in time with that breath. So you may be moving slower than me, or you may be moving quicker. Just so long as you keep your hips and your shoulders moving. Good, last round. Dip that stomach, stick the bum back, look forwards, and then lift from the center of your back as you tuck your tailbone under. Good, come back to a neutral spine and then just wiggle your hips from side to side. Like you're whipping your imaginary tail behind you. Good, now we're going to press our right hand a little bit more firmly into the mat, as we are going to do the same thing with our right knee. And then we're going to send our left leg back. Good, so we're going to extend that leg as far back as possible. Now see if you can make your heel the furthest distance from you. Okay, rather than your toes, your heel. Good, now press a little bit more firmly with your hands to lift yourself up a little bit higher. Good, we're now going to curl this leg underneath us, taking that cat movement where we're arching our back and tucking our tailbone under. And then we're going to send that left leg all the way back out. Good, let's do 2 more of those. So inhale, draw it under, gather it in. And then exhale, take it all the way back out. Good, last one. Inhale, gather it in. And then exhale, take it all the way back out. Good, just feel that stretch running through that left leg and your bum. Keeping the leg nice and strong, we're going to lower it down behind us. Toes press firmly down into the floor. Now press your heel back, nice and strong. Look forwards. Hold it there, breathe. Long breath in, steady breath out. Good, let's bring that knee back down towards the mat. Again, wiggle your tailbone from side to side. And then we're going to do the same thing with the other leg. Okay, so press your left hand a little bit more firmly into the floor and your left knee as you start to take your right leg back. Again, heel is the furthest part away from you. Toes point down towards the floor. Press a little bit more strongly with your arms. And when you're ready, let's curl that leg under, squeeze it up, arch your back, tuck your tailbone. Good, then let's send it all the way back out. Look forwards. Good, curl it under. And then send it all the way back out. Good, last one, curl it under. Let's hold it there for an extra breath, so long inhale. And then as you exhale, take it all the way back out. Good, let's start to take that foot down towards the floor. Press that heel back. So feel that stretch in the calf, hamstring, maybe right up into your bum. And look forwards. Hold it there. Good, and then bring your knees back underneath your hips. Again, let's wiggle our tailbone from side to side. Good, now we're just going to take some relief away from our hands. So make a fist with both hands and press that fist down into the floor. We're going to do some half press-ups here. So when you're ready, we're going to take the elbows either direction to each other to dip yourself down and then press yourself up. If that's too much for you, just do a quarter press up. Good, again, take those elbows wide, lift yourself up. Last one. Take the elbows wide, lift yourself up. Good, come back onto your palms. Take your hands almost right off the top of the mat and then allow your chest to sink down. Now you'll feel your shoulder blades come together here. So give them a little squeeze and then relax them. Good, long breath in. Steady breath out. Good, whilst we're in this pose, let's draw our right hand back towards us and then send it underneath and out to the left-hand side. You can turn your head to the left as well, and if you're able to bring it down to the floor, then go for it. Good. Inhale, let's draw that left hand back to where it was and then do the same with the right. So take it back towards you and then twist it down and out the right hand side. Breathe. Good. Come back to center. Bring your hands this time underneath your shoulders. And again, just quickly do some cat-cow movements by dipping your stomach and sticking your bum back and looking forwards. Exhale, lift from the center of your back, tuck your tailbone under, and then come back to a neutral spine. You might have some drilling going on in the flat next door, so if you hear some strange drilling noises, not coming from me. Here, let's wiggle our tailbone again. Bring our hands forwards just a little bit, keeping our toes tucked. We're going to lift ourselves up and back into a downward facing dog. Good, let's hold ourselves here in downward facing dog, coming high onto our tiptoes, bending our knees nice and deeply, and then sticking our bum up nice and high and extending with our arms. Good, long breath in. Steady breath out. Good, we're going to pull forwards into a plank. Going to lower the knees to the floor. Keep that movement going so you're bringing your chest down to the floor into a low chaturanga. Pull forwards, headbutt the tree, and then lift yourself up into a cobra. Good, relax your shoulders. Tuck your toes, lift your hips up and back, downward facing dog. Another long breath in. Sigh it out. Good, we're going to do that cycle 2 more times. So inhale, pull forwards into a plank, knees come down to the floor. Keep your hips a little bit elevated so you're leading with your chest as you come down into a chaturanga, up into cobra. Shoulders nice and loose. Good, tuck the toes, downward facing dog. We're going to do 1 more of those. So a nice long inhale to draw yourself forwards, knees come down, chest comes down, headbutt the tree, and then come up into a cobra. I'm getting further and further into my entry. Good. This time we're just going to come up onto all fours and then press our hips back into a child's pose. Good. Now we're going to draw our hands behind us, interlace the thumbs behind us as well if you can, and then start to lift your hands up towards the ceiling. You can bring your head down onto the floor if you're able to. And just take some tension out of your shoulders here. Good, now use the pull of your hands coming back down towards the floor to lift yourself up to sitting on your heels. Good, uninterlace your thumbs, reach your hands to the ceiling, and then fold yourself forwards, pulling yourself up, tuck the toes into a downward facing dog. Good, let's lift the left leg up towards the ceiling and then curl it underneath and step the foot as far up in between your hands as you can. Good, lower the back knee down, especially if you haven't quite got your foot all the way up. And just give yourself a chance to shift that left foot up. Good, we're going to start to take this left foot out towards the left-hand side. So you can feel the left edge of the mat with the edge of your left foot. Good, now we're going to see if we can take our right leg back a little bit. Okay? Just so you can really feel a stretch happening here on the inner thighs. Pop yourself up onto your right fingertips and take them a little bit further out to the right-hand side if you can. And then bring your left hand onto the inside of your left knee. Now this may be as far as you wish to go. And you can just work on breathing where you inhale and strengthen your inner thighs. So squeeze them nice and tight. And then as you exhale, just release them. If you want to go a little bit further into a deeper stretch, then you can roll onto the outer edge of your left foot, pressing your knee away from you and letting your hips sink down. Good. Shift your left shoulder back away from your ears and look towards the ceiling. So it's your choice. Breathe, long breath in. Steady breath out. Good, wherever you are, draw that knee back in. Bring your right hand back in as well. And actually, let's bring the left foot all the way up to the center of the mat. Okay, so we're back into the center. Left hand comes onto the outside of your left foot, and we're going to lift the back knee away from the mat. Good, now strengthen your right leg by pressing your right heel back, but keeping the lift. Sometimes when we press our right heel back, our leg can droop and sink. So we want to still keep it nice and strong and firm. Good. From here, you may need to step your back foot in a little bit so that then you can bring it fully up to the top of the mat. So we're folding over our legs. Once you've managed to fold over your legs, just let the whole of the top part of your body hang nice and loose and gently rock yourself from side to side. Good, let's bend the knees deeply and then lift ourselves all the way up to the ceiling. Good, extend your arms. You might feel a little head rush here. So as you exhale again, slowly make your way back down towards the floor. Keep a strong bend into your knees. Good, we're going to step our left leg back and then our right leg back so we come back into a plank. Lower the knees to the floor, pull your body forwards and then go through your chaturanga and up into a cobra. Breathe, relax your shoulders. Good, tuck your toes, make your way back into downward facing dog. Good, again we're going to lift the right leg up and then curl it underneath and step it up as far as you can in between your hands. Again, lower your left knee down, shift that right foot up as far as you can. Take a moment to breathe. See if you can shift your left leg back a little bit further as you start to take your right foot all the way to the outer edge of the mat. Good. Make sure you come high onto the fingertips of your left hand and bring your right hand onto the inside of your right knee. Good. Again, you may just wish to stay here. Inhale, squeeze your inner thighs. Exhale, release. Or if you wish to go further, maybe take your left hand a little wider and roll onto the outer edge of your right foot. Let your hips sink down. And then look towards the ceiling. Breathe. Good, let's start to draw that leg back in. Take the foot so that it comes right back to the center of the mat. Both hands frame that right foot as you lift the back knee away from the mat. Make it nice and strong. Press that heel back. Good, again, you may need to step your back foot in a little bit so you can get more weight into your front foot and a step all the way to the top of the mat. Good, nice and slowly, let's roll the body up all the way to standing. Once you get to standing, lift your shoulders towards your ears, roll them back and down. Find yourself in a mountain pose. Breathe. Long breath in through your nose. And then let it go. Another long breath in. And let it go. Long breath in. And let it go. Good. Let's come back to the top of the mat. Bend our knees nice and deeply. Stick your bum back and then lift your arms up towards the ceiling. So we're coming into a chair pose. Good. We're then going to swing our arms forwards to make us dip down and then take those hands up towards the ceiling. Good. Now, still keeping your knees bent and your bum sticking back, we're going to inhale, draw those hands forwards and up, chair pose. And then exhale, sweep them forwards and back, folded over our feet. Good. Again, inhale, swoop them forwards, chair pose. And then last time, sweep them back. Fold over your legs, hands towards the ceiling. Good, stay where you are, but bring your hands down towards the floor. Good, we're going to step our right leg 3/4 of the way back of the mat. So you should still be able to bring your heel down on the right foot. When you're ready, we're going to inhale and lift into warrior one. Okay, so there's a bend into our front left knee and our back leg is nice and straight. Reach your hands towards the ceiling and then see if you can draw your rib cage back a little bit as well. Hold it there, breathe. Good, now we're going to swing our hands forwards again, reaching forwards. Let your chest follow your hands until your chest manages to get towards the top of the left thigh. Keep those hands moving and take them up behind you like we were just doing. Breathe. Hold it there. Keep breathing. Good. Let's swing those hands all the way back and up, taking it back into that warrior one position. Floating rib cage comes back. Keep that bend nice and strong into the front knee. Good. Now see if you can bring more weight into your left foot. Bring your hands down onto your waist. And we're going to see if we can launch our back leg up into a one leg balance before sticking that foot down onto the floor. Good. Let's bend our knees in turn. I call a standing mince. Just bending the knees, wiggling your hips. Good. Inhale. Bend the knees deeply, bum sticks back, chair pose. Good. Fold over your legs. Come back down towards the floor. Same thing, other side. So let's take our left leg back 3/4 of the way to the back of the mat. Keep the bend in the right knee as then you lift yourself up. Warrior one. Good. So really feel that stretch running down the back of the left leg. Breathe. Good. Again, let's start to bring those hands forwards like you're reaching. Let your chest follow you until it comes down onto the top of the right thigh, and then lift your arms up behind you. Hold it there, breathe. See if you can shift your chest forward just a little bit further. You may be feeling this on the outside of your right leg and the back of your left leg. Breathe. Good. Inhale. Let's draw those hands all the way back up. Warrior one. Good. Hands come down onto your waist. Press more weight into your right foot. And then lift to hold your left leg up before stepping it down next to your right. Again, standing mince. Bending your knees in turn. Good. Pause there. Take a long breath in. Bend the knees. Bum goes back. Lift your hands. Good. Hold it a little extra longer in your chair pose before folding over your legs. Stepping your left leg back and then your right leg so you come into a plank. Good. Lower your knees to the floor. Keep those hips lifted as you bend your elbows to take your chest to the floor. Pull forwards and up into a cobra. Let your shoulders release. breathe. Good, shift your hips up and back. Child's pose. This time drawing your hands either down by your side or making a fist with your hands. There's something for your forehead to rest on. Good, nice and slowly, let's draw ourselves forwards. Coming back onto all fours first, tuck the toes. Hands come a little further forwards to lift yourself up and back, downward facing dog. Good, take a long breath in. Sigh it out. Good, when you're ready, we're going to draw our right leg forwards to step it all the way to the top of the mat. Again, you can bring your back knee down and shift the foot up manually if you need to. Good, we're going to keep that back knee lifted. But now we're going to take the heel on the left foot down towards the floor, turning those left toes so they're pointing out to the left-hand side. Okay, so just take a moment to check that your right foot is pointing forwards and your back foot, your left foot, is pointing to the left-hand side. Good, now we're going to windmill our arms up into a warrior two. So leading with our left hand, we're going to windmill up, warrior two. Ta-da. Good. Now let's bring our hands onto our hips for a second. Okay, we're going to see if we can get ourselves just a little bit deeper into our warrior two. So first of all, bend your right knee until you feel like it's sitting right over the top of your ankle. Good. Then, see if you can take your left foot back just a little bit. You'll notice that then your knee will come back a little bit and your leg will be less straight, less perpendicular. Good, so now you've taken that foot back, see if you can bend again a little deeper. It might be a little bit intense, so just have a play around with it and find that optimum point that your body will allow you to bend and stretch your inner thighs. Okay, hold it there for 2 seconds. 1, 2, and then start to straighten that front leg, your right leg. Good. Now we're going to bring the arms out. Okay, making a T shape with our upper body. Now start to reach forwards with your right hand. Turn and look over the top of your right hand as well. Then we're going to windmill our arms to come down towards our right shin and lift the left arm up towards the ceiling. Now you can turn and look to the left as well. We're coming into a triangle pose. Good, hold it there. Keep reaching that left arm as high as you can. Breathe. Good, nice and slowly, we're going to start to windmill ourselves back to upright and re-bend into that front knee. Good. We're going to turn our right toes so they're pointing in the same direction as the back toes. Okay? And we're going to straighten this leg. So now we're facing the left-hand side and our legs are nice and wide. Good. We're going to bring our arms again out to the side. And then we're going to start to fold forwards. Good, hold it there. Keep breathing. Slowly start to lift all the way back up. We're going to turn the left toes, this time to point to the back of the room. And then re-bend into that knee. So we come into a warrior two on the other side. Now again, bring your hands to your hips. See if you're able to go any wider with this warrior two. Good. Once you feel like you've got to the point where you can't get any further, arms come out, count to 2. 1, 2, and then start to straighten your left leg. And we're going to do the same thing that we just did on the other side. So start to move your left arm forwards, turn and look over the top of your left hand. And then windmill your arms down to press your left hand on your left shin. Right arm comes up towards the ceiling. Good. Hold it there. Breathe. And nice and slowly, let's bring ourselves back. Rebend into that left knee. Warrior 2. Hands come back onto our hips. Turn our left toes so they're now pointing to the left-hand side as well. So we come back to facing fully to the left. This time, keeping your hands on your waist. Manually shift your bum back. And then fold your body forward. Breathe. Very nice and slowly. Lift your body all the way back up. Turn your toes back towards the front on the right foot. Come back into a warrior 2. Good, but this time we're going to take a deep inhale, lift our shoulders to our ears, and then exhale, we're going to pivot our hands down to the floor, unplug your back heel so you come back onto the tiptoes of your left foot. Good, see if you can send your right foot all the way back into a plank. Now, yogi's choice here. You can either bring your knees to the floor or see if you can keep them raised as you pull forwards, lower yourself through a chaturanga and back into a cone. Hold yourself there. Breathe. Squeeze your bum. Squeeze your heels. And then shift yourself back into child's pose. I almost said downward facing dog. Let's give you a child's pose. So keep your hands reaching forwards, lengthen out your back. Breathe. Good, and then nice and slowly roll the body back up. So you end up sitting on your heels. If this isn't comfortable for you, you can shift yourself onto one side and swing your legs around and come back into a seated position. So it's entirely up to you. This is a great position to stretch out your quad muscles, which are these ones here. Good. Once you've found yourself into whatever comfortable seated position you're in, we're going to reach our hands up towards the ceiling. We're then going to bring them forwards and press the palms forwards. Okay, so we're lengthening out our forearms here. Good. Turn the palms so that they are away from each other, so the back of the hands are pointing towards one another. And then inhale to draw those hands wide as you fold over your legs and reach your hands towards the ceiling. Relax your head. Breathe. Good. Bring those hands down to the floor as you roll yourself all the way back up. Doing shoulder movements here, so just give your shoulders a little wiggle. Good. We're going to do that one more time. So inhale, lift your hands up towards the ceiling. Good. Bring them forwards, palms facing forwards. Press the heel of your palms forwards as much as you can. Try and curl the fingers back towards you, keeping your arms nice and straight. Good. Now let's turn the palms away from each other. Take a deep breath as you take those hands wide, fold over your knees, and lift your hands to the ceiling. And make sure you relax your neck and head here. Good, and then roll yourself up. Shift yourself onto your bum and swing your legs around. Good, we're going to take our legs out front. Okay, so feet are together, toes are nice and active, so they're curling back towards you. Heels are pressing forwards so that both legs are nice and strong. Good, we're going to shrug our shoulders back. Hands are going to be on our legs. Now, keeping our shoulders back, we're going to just gently pad our hands forwards up our legs, keeping our chest forwards, shoulders back, until you feel like you can't move any further forwards. Okay? When you reach that point and you can feel the back of your legs starting to stretch, take hold of the underside of your legs at that point. Work your feet, so press the heels forwards, curl the toes back, and hold that position, feeling that stretch running up the backs of the legs. Breathe. Steady breath in. Steady breath out. Good. Wherever you are, release your legs, your feet. Lift your hands towards the ceiling. Good. We're going to turn to the left-hand side and bring our hands down into a twist. Good. Inhale to lift your hands and then take a counter twist on the other side. Good, come back to center. Start to bend your knees. And then take them wide, so open them up, so that the soles of your feet come together. Now start to draw these feet back towards you as close as you can get them. Slowly come into a half lotus. Make sure you're feeling nice and comfortable, or reasonably comfortable, as we do want to keep stretching here. Crown of the head is reaching towards the ceiling as you do at the beginning. Use your feet, hold on to them as a way to stabilize yourself. Good, now we're going to take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, see if you can press your knees further towards the floor. Relax your torso and relax your shoulders. Your knees may be up here, that's fine. Or you may be lucky enough to get them flat down onto the floor. If your knees are flat down onto the floor, you then need to work on bringing your chest forwards. So we're all going to be different here. Good, again, let's take another deep, long breath in. And then as you exhale, press your knees further towards the floor. So you should feel your inner thighs stretching here. Good, nice and slowly help your knees come up with your hands. Give yourself a squeeze by wrapping your hands around your knees. More drilling. And then we're going to bring ourselves so that our feet are flat down on the floor. Our shoulders are back. And our arms are parallel with the floor. So we want to try and keep our shoulders and the rest of our back as straight as possible as we start to take ourselves down towards the floor. Good, and then once you come all the way down to the floor, I just want you to let your arms drift up towards the ceiling, keeping them nice and fluid, like you're sinking down through water. You're letting the head of the arm bone sink back into the shoulder socket. Good, now let's start to take those arms up and behind you.
Good. Let's bring those hands down by your side. Let's draw the right knee in towards your chest and then start to take it across the left leg. You may need to bring the left leg a little bit further towards you. Good. Now nice and slowly take your hands behind you. Stretch out as long as you can and then slowly start to take your knees over to the left-hand side. So taking it into a slightly deeper twist with that leg across. Good, and you can turn your head to the left as well if it helps. Good, and then start to draw those knees back up. Unravel them. And bring your hands back down by your belly. Good, we're going to draw our left leg in. Squeeze it up. Close to your chest. Draw it across like you did before. Good, let's take the hands overhead and then start to take the legs across to the right-hand side. And you'll find yourself rolling onto your right hip here a little bit. Good, and then turn your head to the left. Okay, let's draw those legs back up. Bring your hands down again by your side. Unravel your legs. And then bring your knees into your chest, both of them at the same time. Draw them up. Gently rock yourself from left to right. And then slowly start to send those legs out front. Lying yourself flat down on the floor. Take a long breath in through your nose. And then let it go. Just gently start to wiggle your fingers and your toes and your nose. Draw your knees back in towards your chest and roll yourself over to either the right or the left-hand side, pressing yourself up slowly to a seated position that you took at the beginning of the class. Take one more long breath in through your nose and then let it go. And then flutter your eyelids open. Thank you for joining today. I hope you have a good rest of your day, whatever it is that you're doing. But to all of you who practiced today, but most importantly for yourselves, for coming to a class so close to Christmas, we can bow and say, Namaste. Thanks everyone.